So welcome to Anxiety Part 3, The Traumatised Inner Child. The information provided in this course is intended as a guideline only. As an individual, the owner of a business or psychological therapist, you are responsible for your interpreting the information provided and assimilating it into your life, business or therapeutic practice as you see fit and at your discretion. So in this part 3, we're going to be looking at the causes of anxiety disorders, the traumatised inner child, coping technique 2, teaching the child to parent themselves, coping technique 3, psychoeducation, and coping technique 4, reinforcement. So causes of anxiety disorders, the traumatised inner child. In my experience, the vast majority of anxiety and panic disorders are caused by some sort of trauma experienced by the inner child. The inner child is often described as the childlike aspect of an individual, including what the individual learned as a child before puberty. However, it's also possible to have an inner teenager because we learn different things about life and ourselves at different ages. Here are some of the most common causes of anxiety in terms of anxiety being caused by emotional trauma. So the individual has experienced a recent trauma resulting in a bout of anxiety. Trauma experienced as an adult can act as a trigger for a previous experience. The individual has experienced a past trauma that has left them feeling that they can't cope. This is most common in those who feel they've been anxious all of their life. Trauma experienced as a child remains unprocessed and can haunt us on a long-term basis. More on that later. The individual is in a work, family, or other situation that has left them feeling overwhelmed and anxious. In this case, the inner child is trying to tell the adult individual that they need nurture, protection, encouragement, soothing, and probably a break. Sometimes the inner child is communicating that the job, relationship, or situation isn't right for the person. The individual has experienced recent losses, or perhaps there is an impending loss or a threat of a loss that is affecting them. In this case, the inner child doesn't know how to process the grief, and so they feel overwhelmed and react with fear. When we're children, we cannot process emotion in the way we can as an adult. Even teenagers find this difficult. According to the Royal College of Psychiatrists, our brains don't become technically adult brains until, for females, age 25, and for males, age 28. Some people develop their brains differently depending on the situations and environment they've grown up in. According to one study, abuse victims have 15 to 25% less thinking capacity because their frontal lobe hasn't developed so much. Why might this be?